like you're content, but you know that there's more.
Promise you, I'm not sitting on the couch drinking non-alcoholic Mai Tais, looking at my phone like,
I want more than what I have, right now.
Then at some point, you're probably going to have to put up that boundary.
God, I feel like, wants us to have all his promises.
I feel like over time, it kind of started to take over. No way. What is up, YouTube family? We are back with another episode of our High on Jesus podcast, episode 5. And this week it is Don't Mistake My Kindness for Access.
Amen.
I love that.
Yes.
You're here with Just in Time with Justin Hallis.
And Austyn with a Y.
And this week we're going to talk about boundaries.
In all areas.
I think this is something that so many people struggle with in many different ways, shapes, and forms. Probably do this over 2 episodes, to be honest. I think there's so many areas that we could discuss. We still got our sponsor, so that's a good thing.
That's right.
Yep. Thank you, Austyn, for supporting us. We got 4 different companies that she has. She's got automatic bail bonds. You or a loved one ever goes to jail. I don't know, maybe it's a crazy uncle, your family. You ever gotta need a help getting someone out of jail? She's your woman.
Any time of day.
Yep. So call automatic bail bonds. Mm-hmm. So we also got the Journey to Greatness sober living homes.
Men and women.
Yep. Men and women sober living homes. We got Florida Elite Monitoring. That's the leg. What are they?
GPS. I don't forget what are they called. Monitor.
if you
I've never had one, thank God.
Right. Same. So if the judge says, hey, in addition to you getting bailed out of jail, you need some monitoring, she's your woman for that also. Yeah. And then we got Dump Dynasty,
which is so great.
Not Duck Dynasty, Dump Dynasty. Yep. But they're really good stuff. I mean, if you need a remodel done, maybe the storm takes out some stuff in your house, whatever it is, the back needs cleared out, just call, they'll drop that thing off in your driveway. Malik's going to take it out for you. Simple, easy, done, checked off the list.
Don't worry about it. Yep.
Yeah. So make sure
she can get you out of jail, place you in a home, and keep up with you all at the same time.
Right.
It's great.
And maybe you can get some work too, and throw the dump trailer out there. So how's everything been going?
It's good. I got my car back.
Okay.
So we had it
was down for a while?
It was about $1,000 worth of work. Yeah, alternator, battery combo.
It's always fun.
Oil leak, took it all out. So, that's, as you've said, that's a used car.
Yeah.
But one day,
I guess it's a con to the cash cars, but you don't have a car payment. So
yeah, that's right. But it gave me it made me humble. I took a bus ride for the day and reminded me where I was a year ago and made me a little more humble today and be grateful when that car does start.
Absolutely.
And I'll make sure, I'm getting all the maintenance done as it should be instead of just waiting for the light to come on. So it was definitely a nice memory for the bus ride, not something I look forward to.
The bus.
We should take a bus ride with the camera and let's see.
I could do that. We'll try it out. We'll get Chris to come with us, meet some people, minister to some people.
That would be good.
I'll run it.
All right.
But it helps remind you where you're going, and just easy to take stuff for granted, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like we want that car so bad, we finally get it, and like every time you're driving for the first week, it's like, oh, this is awesome, it's mine, and then a few months go by, just another day, you run out the door, turn it on, and drive away.
I think mine was less than 30 days, so that hit.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easy to not appreciate stuff.
Right.
And we
Absolutely.
need that reminder. I believe we got to go without something in order to truly appreciate it.
Well, I went without, and I'm good. So, yeah. But
hot showers for me sometimes. I pay for the hot water in my house.
Yes.
Don't use any of the hot water in my house because the teenage girls get to the shower before you. It's over. But we'll save that for another episode too, I guess.
Have a whole plan for that.
But I'll tell you what, when I get to that next hot shower after that, after I took a couple cold ones, I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
So you just have to get up first.
Oh, it's
and
beautiful.
Get in there.
Yeah, you got to beat them to it.
Well, when you asked me how my weekend was, I started thinking about that, and we met Friday to kind of pull this idea together of what we're going to talk about. I never realized, we've talked about a little bit about spiritual warfare, and I know that's not the topic today, but I have to say, when we speak on something, the enemy attacks like that area. This weekend in both areas, you know, we talked about boundaries at home, and then we talked about boundaries with relationship. So like I told you verbatim, I didn't really have stories for that. Well, I do as of this weekend. So
it's crazy how that works, isn't it?
It is.
And let you try to work on something, try to move forward in the area. The enemy comes out from all sides. And I almost felt bad because I know some of what, you know, has been going on in your life because we, you know, talk on the outside, obviously. And it's like, man, I forgot to tell her about that part. I forgot to tell her when you sign up for stuff like this and you want to do something good, you want to help other people and just, I don't know, just do some kingdom work, man. The enemy don't like that. It gets his attention, unfortunately, and it can cause some rough stuff to occur.
So that's where that whole stay ready
trials,
you know, has to come in. So
no doubt.
I just it was good. So now I have plenty of material.
Well, that's good.
Today.
I can't wait to hear some of the stories. It's gonna be great.
And how was your weekend?
It was good. To be honest with you, it goes by so fast that I almost don't, you know, remember a lot of it. But it was a nice time together. Basketball playoffs has kind of been, you know, the thing lately. It's I told Bonnie, it's my one time a year that I like to watch sports. Not a guy that watches it all year long, but I love my NBA playoffs. So I've been watching that every night. Get to see my son Jaden more because he comes over. So unfortunately, well, this is going to be a couple weeks by the time they see it. But Steph got injured. Warriors don't look like they're going to make it out of this one, but Minnesota should be thanking somebody because if Curry was in, it would have been a sweep, baby. It would have been over with, but it's all right. There's always next year, I guess. But it's still fun to watch. So,
absolutely.
Yep, spending time with my family, it's always a priority.
And I think you were talking about some restaurant y'all went to last week about a cigar box. Something.
So we had it was before our marriage small group. So it was like Layla was gonna stay at the house. I was like, Bonnie, what do you want to do before we go? We always go out to eat before we go over there. She's like, hey, let's try something different. So we tried a place called Fuego. It's actually in downtown Bradenton, I think, or was it in Lakewood Ranch? I don't know. Look it up, Fuego. But it was really, really good. It's kind of like they have just like some really super interesting, just like upscale Mexican, you know, dishes. And this one was called lobster. Was it lobster cigar rolls?
Lobster roll.
It was something. It was some type of basically. It was in a cigar box. The presentation, right? And when they take off the cover, smoke comes out of it, and it's like these three amazing. I guess I would almost call them like taquitos, but it was lobster and a bunch of other stuff in there, and then there was just like this like cheese sauce to dip it in. It was out of this world, man.
You mentioned it, and I had to get more information.
It's crazy. Go to Fuego. Try those lobster cigar rolls. Right. Insane. Yeah, it's definitely one of a kind.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then Barilla. Probably saying it wrong. Barilla empanadas. That was another one I tried, and he dipped it in there. It was different. I love different, man. So
we're always looking for somewhere new to eat.
For sure.
So, yes.
For sure. Maybe we can get them to sponsor the show too.
There you go.
So when this is dropping, coming up, actually this is coming out on Memorial Day. So probably maybe should have wore the camo this time instead of last week to represent. But just taking that time to honor the courage and sacrifice of the men and women who gave their lives in service to this great country. Because that's so important, man. We got a big shout out to anyone that serves in the armed forces. If you got family that serves in any of the armed forces, but today we're honoring people that sacrificed everything, man. I mean, again, you talk about taking stuff for granted. So easy to take all these freedoms that we enjoy without even thinking twice.
Sitting here, being able to free speech, everything.
Freedom of speech, so many things, man, that we get to enjoy in this great country. And if it wasn't for the men and women that, sacrifice currently and sacrifice it all for us, we wouldn't get to enjoy any of that. So thank you to everyone out there that served. And if you lost a loved one, our hearts are with you. Yeah. So we did the black and white.
Yeah. Yes.
It was nice.
So what are you wearing today, Justin?
The mismatch.
Yeah, opposites.
So we got the High on Jesus shirts, of course, representing all our merch, available online. The link is below. And today broke out one. Yeah, it's simple, but
One of his favorites.
It is one of my favorites, not gonna lie. So it's the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low, the Phantom colorway. Just simple, clean. You'll see it there. Goes with everything. I don't know. I can't say I love the Travis Scott, the Jordan 1 Lows. Yeah, they're super nice. Yeah. So good everyday shoe. Just nice, man. I don't know how else to say it. Yep. So,
and are your shoestrings matching or are they opposite today?
So this one I did the matching. I did like the black and white.
So I've noticed like your right and your left sometimes are a little different.
I like to do, if it comes with extra laces, I put one in the right and a different one in the left. But yeah, I don't know. We haven't got much feedback. A couple people said they're feeling the shoe parts.
They did like my Hey Dudes.
I was saying we got a couple comments on the Hey Dudes. Gonna ask you what you're wearing today. What you got on?
I got my cowgirl boots on. Brian bought them for me for our gala last year. They have embroidered crosses on them, so they're kind of funny story. I actually had the same pair when I got clean the first time. My mom bought them for me. I had those resold 4 times, so I wore those boots.
Just keeping them going
through my whole recovery. The first time, I still have them. They have no bottoms left because I wore them after my relapse.
Nice.
But so for Brian to pick out the same pair was kind of, I don't know. It was, we ordered them on the fly for the gala last year. And
that's awesome.
So it ended up being the same pair. So these are my sobriety boots, I guess.
There you go. That's awesome. Kind of go with anything.
Yes.
Maybe we put a picture of them here and we can see them. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I like my boots. My boots and my Hey Dudes. I'm good.
Country. Going country.
Yes.
So you both got our favorite. Boots, Jordan 1 Lows. We're ready, good. Man. Yeah. Our feet are happy.
Exactly. You said that that Memorial Day is coming up, but also what's coming up? Our kids are getting out of school.
Yes.
The same week.
Yeah. Well, this is the last week of school.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be the preparation for, I don't know what.
I mean, thank Jesus we have VBS and we have church camp.
Yes.
So my son and my twin 14-year-old daughters will be not only going to church camp, but they will also be counselors this year.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that. And Tristan will be going for her first time.
Nice.
So I keep reminding the twins that they're going to be there to counsel Tristan. So this ought to be, I don't know how many phone calls I'm going to get from Dayspring how they're telling her what to do. But it's nice to know that I'll get a little breaks, but they love going. So
that's cool.
I'm interested to see, how that's going to go. And I'll have 3 in high school next year. So that's terrifying.
Snap.
Have you been watching the news lately?
No.
Okay.
The news is, I don't know, sometimes if you go too far watching too much news, man, you're going to get all kinds of mad, upset, take your peace and serenity away. I try to do it sparingly. If I see something, okay, cool. if I see something quick, cool. But if not, if I watch the whole hour show, I'm like, oh my goodness, the world's ending.
My other half, Brian, is 5 a.m. news kind of guy.
Every morning?
Every morning. Sometimes on the weekends it's at 7, but 5 o'clock. Fox 13 every morning.
He's on it.
So there was a episode aired online from Ohio, I believe it generated. So I want you to take a look at it. It's about a raccoon.
A raccoon.
And a meth pipe. Yeah. So we're talking about boundaries.
Together?
Somebody let their boundaries on their drugs go down.
Interesting.
So
is the raccoon watch the meth pipe for him, or?
He looked like he was holding it for her.
Is this on me? Yeah. All right. You sent it to me?
Yep.
I get to see it. Let's check it out here.
Hey! Now come here. Hello? The raccoon has her meth pipe. Oh my God. Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth pipe right now.
The cop even thinks it's funny.
That's evidence now.
Well, I don't want him to.
Well, that's why I'm going to do it.
It's full, dude. Look at it.
No.
Okay.
No way.
Okay, you're on he'll be here in 2 minutes.
The raccoon.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. This is what she's smoking meth in.
Okay.
The raccoon's playing with her meth.
Oh my goodness. That couldn't have been the first time.
He's trying to smoke it.
No.
So then they take it, right?
All right. Enough fine.
He's trying to smoke it.
So they take it.
Holy hell. Oh.
He's got another one.
No. That's actually a great way to get out of things. Why couldn't I think of having a raccoon with me the whole time, and then you get in trouble, just throw the drugs to the raccoon?
It's
not mine. It's the raccoon's.
So yeah,
that is. I think the best part of that, I can't even believe that, man. The best part is like the cop thinks it's hilarious.
So I guess they progressed like searching the vehicle because they were concerned that she had a wild animal first. That's why she was pulled over for like expired tag, driving unsuspended or something to that. And then they pull over, and not only does she have meth and crack in her vehicle after the search, she has a wild animal, but she did have papers for the raccoon.
I would say, because you have to have it, license or something like that.
She had that, but unfortunately she went to jail.
Interesting. The raccoon did it, Judge. Yes. I don't know. It wasn't me.
Old Rocky the raccoon.
Hilarious. I got the first. I can't even like comprehend it. So many thoughts come rushing into my head. Like the first thing, like, does the raccoon smoke meth with her?
Well, that's what I mean. Like when you watch it even closer, it picks up a second one. The cop takes the full bubble, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see over the edge of the car that he has another one. So they ended up finding 3, not 1, not 2, but 3.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
Was that Florida?
It was in Ohio.
Interesting. I definitely would have thought it would be a Florida story. Classic.
There might be more out there.
Classic Florida.
Yes. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. So you should watch the news more.
Thank you for sharing that one.
There's so many jokes that are going to come from that.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Here, hold this.
So, let's do our comment crawl next.
Good times.
All right. So comment crawl. We always do this every single week. Comment below if you guys like this. Put some comments in the video because that's where we're getting them all from. Yes. So man, we get the good, the bad, the ugly, and so we like to do just 2 nice, heartfelt comments, and then of course one with someone rocking me for something. So let's see. We got something different for today. So first, again, we just throw out that we don't know who it says. Ryan 8430. We don't know if that's one of our Ryans that we know or someone else, but said, as someone who's had addiction issues and stayed sober from substances, but didn't clean up other areas of my life, knowing that I'm wrong and wanting to change. I struggle with letting go and giving full faith in God. My life is okay, but I know there's more. I know God has something better in store. Shoot out a prayer for me, brother. I love the honesty first and foremost, that he can be honest with what's going on. So it sounds to me like like he's had some issues in the past, like he's staying sober, but he kind of knows full well there's some other areas of his life that maybe he's not bringing God into, or just not taking a self-reflecting look at. Knowing and recognizing that's the biggest thing is that he's wrong and that there are some other things that need to change. So I commend him for that, because that's the first part of solving and getting through anything is, you got to recognize it.
Absolutely.
It's not about a perfect journey. It's about recognizing it. I
identified where he was like, my life is okay. Like, you're content, but that there's more. Like I know that speaking from first person, I know that for me too. Like, I want more than what I have, right now. And sometimes I feel guilty about wanting more, but God, I feel like wants us to have all his promises. And as long as we have that faith that he's talking about, of putting our faith in God, it is possible.
Absolutely.
But I definitely identified with that.
I know exactly what you mean. There's so many seasons in my life too where it's just like, is this it? Like, I thought we would, I thought it would be better. I thought, we would have achieved more, whatever it is. I think there's great, topic to talk about at some point, but there's balance to everything. All this stuff is fine line subjects. If you go, in my opinion, if you go too far either way, you're probably in a danger area, because there's also a way you can go where you're never satisfied. You got to another level that you wanted 3 years ago, but now that's not good enough either, and you need something else, and you need more, and you're just never satisfied. So that's not a good place to be either. But I feel you. Maybe we should talk about it, upcoming more, but I've been there so many times and just tried to find the place. Can I find the middle ground and just not settling where I'm at, being appreciative and, have just full of gratitude for where I'm at in this present moment, and not letting that slip by me. Right. But at the same time, I do feel that God called me to more, and there's still more kingdom work to be done. Small,
attainable, reachable goals, ahead of us to keep us pushing forward.
For sure.
Is important for me. The first time I got clean, for those 4 years, this is what I think I was missing. That's what immediately reading that's what I think I truly felt, that I knew that I was still not living right. I was still hanging around the same people. I was abstaining, but I didn't have that inward change that I needed, that I have, today. So
absolutely. I can relate to that too. How many relapses where I was sober for a minute, but nothing was going on inwardly. And then the other part of that, I wasn't headed anywhere. I was just kind of holding on for dear life, trying not to use. I didn't have a goal. I didn't have purpose. I wasn't, what's next?
Plugged in.
Where am I headed to? That's important. Good.
My mind is wondering which Ryan that is too,
So next, the good news, I got so many people. A lot of these people we don't even know. Someone commented from Australia the other day. Nice. I saw, yeah. So Sorgan, I think we talked, and this is someone that you know.
Yeah, this is my dad. Okay,
I'll let you. I thoroughly enjoyed the podcast. Austyn with the Y has been an incredible blessing in my life since the day she was born. Oh, that's so nice. I am beyond proud of her remarkable recovery. I look forward to watching the podcast.
That is a distant cousin.
Okay.
She's one of my cousin's mothers on my dad's side. So I haven't seen her. I can't tell you the last time. We used to have family our Thanksgiving, we'd all come together at my Aunt Martha's across the street, and Aunt Susan, we would... it just, it took me back when you called me and asked me who that was. But I sent her the podcast, and she's a believer. She's a very strong Christian woman. And I was so grateful that she wrote me and said, thank you for the podcast, and wanted the next link. And so, awesome. I love doing this, but who thought that it would reconnect me with family that I haven't, a lot of my family didn't even know that I went the way that I did, because I always had such a thick mask on and made everything go under the rug, and
always pretended it was all good.
Yep. So thanks, Susan.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you.
That's the power of YouTube too. You don't have to to talk to everybody all the time. They can just see where you're at, see what's going on.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. So, as always, and we got, at least I didn't get called a heretic this time. So with City Pop Radio FM, I don't know what that name is, but he said that facial hair should be a sin. I was cracking up when I read it for the first time a while back. I was cracking up, man.
So I've only been working for you.
Is it too Amish? Is that the deal?
We can get you the hat to go with it, but
no?
How long ago?
It's not it?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Is that the way
I'm saying, is this not it, or?
It looks, I don't understand. That's what, is that all that the message, so that was it?
he just stopped by to rock me one time.
And that's probably his only comment ever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people do. That's the comments is a sport. I just thought it was I don't even know if I was saying something about a sin, but he's like, that facial hair should be a sin.
How many people throughout the Bible had facial hair here? Jesus kind of had facial hair.
I got to tell my barber that, he might think otherwise too.
There you go.
I thought we were doing a pretty good job, but I don't know.
Yes.
Should I shave it all off?
Yeah,
or what's
go with the baby face, Justin, and see what happens.
I tried it once, but it's I mean, at least I could say like later on in life when I need to like come down a few years in age, like I'm gonna save that for that.
Oh, yeah.
I come it down and shave it all down, and
you're just gonna go all bald,
probably
like all
10,
of it.
I don't know about all, but when I shave the facial hair down, I'm like 10 years younger instantly.
Yeah,
Look like a kid. I did it once, and Bonnie was like, "No, we're not." No, grow that back quick.
It didn't let her reminisce.
No, she didn't like that.
Reminisce into the fight with the car and all that.
She said, no. Thank God we made it past that. That was a wild story in episode 3. Go back and listen to that if you haven't yet.
That was good.
Yeah, Bonnie said no go on the smooth. She likes a little bit of facial hair. Okay. So my wife likes it. City Pop Radio. It's all that matters.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
It's Bonnie approved.
Exactly.
That's it. Oh, facial hair is a sin. Okay.
So, all right. So boundaries. I feel like there is so many different places that we could start. So many different topics. So I feel like how we're going to do this is let's save the stuff at the house with people that we live with, our spouses, our kids. Let's save that for next episode. Let's just talk about people having access to us, just like the clever title you came up with. Don't mistake my kindness for access. Let's just talk about what type of boundaries are we putting up for people having direct access to us? And, and what are some areas that could come up that maybe like who or what thinks that they have complete access to us, and do we allow it, and is that half of the problem?
Oh, it's 100% of my problem.
So the first thing I'm gonna bring up right here.
Well, with our job, but we allow it. Yeah,
the phone. Well, so for me personally, I don't know. I got when we were discussing what we're going to talk about, like this right here is I don't know, for whatever reason, I felt like, especially in the beginning when, building the company, building the organization, first part sober, I was on the phone all the time. Like they used to call me Aunt B because I'd always be talking to somebody on the phone, whether it was a mentor, sponsor, someone's calling me, whatever it is. I was constantly texting and on the phone always. But I feel like over time, it kind of started to take over, man. And cell phones being addictive is a whole nother study that we could talk for hours about. I see it in the kids. I see it in myself. I know for a fact that scientifically these cell phones hit in the same areas of our brain that addiction does. And I mean, I feel the dopamine rush when I'm, doing certain things on there, whatever it is for each of us, buying and selling things. It's what I like to do. I'm scrolling through, I'm looking at stuff, whatever it is. And it's like, they know that. That's why they want you on their apps and they want you on your phone as much as possible. That's why constant notifications are coming up even while we're sitting here. Look at me. I need your attention, right?
And a victory.
Stop what you're doing, right? And answer this. So, so the first thing I realized over time, I'm getting so stressed out because people are always calling me. The phone never stops ringing, countless text messages. And truth be told, like, I'm the one that's allowing that. I'm the one that's allowing people access to me 24/7. And then at the end of it, I'm the one that's stressed out constantly because it's like I never get a break. It's just this constant outpour. And, I felt the effects of that over the years. So, over time, I started to kind of not respond immediately to every single thing. Well, I know something else I noticed in this transition period. I would be doing a bunch of stuff, stressed out a little bit. Someone calls, that feeling when someone calls when you're in the middle of a bunch of stuff. You're like, oh yeah, dang it, I gotta answer it now. And you're like, what's up?
You're gotta.
Yeah, it's like almost like a habit, right? And so you answer it, and someone would ask me, God bless them, like a stupid question, or like someone would say something to me, I would be like, no, it's this and this. Like, come on, I already told you that. If it was an employee or like someone, a friend, and you know what I find myself, I would be short with them.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't talk
Guilty.
the way that I should have to them. And now then I get off the phone, and then later when I'm thinking about it, now I feel bad.
And you have to make another call.
Now I got to make another call to make an amends back to them to say, hey, I'm sorry, I had a bunch of stuff going on in that moment. But I found myself doing that over and over again. So now I had to ask myself over the years, why am I answering the phone then in that moment? like I would just rather just miss the call and get into a place where I'm focused and in a better state of mind in order to call you, so the phone call goes the way that it should, and I can be positive and give you my time and attention.
Absolutely.
And so, over the years, I kind of learned I had to put up that boundary on my cell phone because it never stops going off. Truth be told, I got 2 phones at this point because one is, when doing this, I, put my regular number. I put that on social media. I made that public. Anybody call me anytime, right?
I got you.
And so now I got the one that's like my personal number, the business number and all that. And then I got a separate phone that's kind of like, close friends and,
like your bat phone.
and family only. Because I got to pull away sometimes. Like if I go on vacation for a few days with Bonnie, I could put that other one to the side. I got my main phone in case someone needs to call me about my daughter, whatever it is. And that's kind of something that I learned over the years of setting up some type of boundary. But there's always a but. It had an adverse effect too.
And what was that?
So let me tell you about how many friends that I've lost, right? Because I didn't answer the phone. People get so mad at me because I didn't call them back or text them back immediately upon receiving their phone call or text message. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but people have gotten so mad because I didn't respond back to them or I didn't answer the phone call or whatever it was. And I kind of, how it is, like, oh, I tried to call you, you never answered. And someone's going to say, kind of like slide you a little bit. And then, then I would feel bad because, I know they may have needed something in that moment. And I was kind of really struggling with that because
I definitely struggle with it too. Like as I'm growing in this too. How did you deal with that when it happened?
So, so the first thing that really helped me out a lot is, and talking to one of my mentors, is he basically was saying this, like, I know what you're saying. I struggle with the same thing too. People have not talked to me anymore because of it. But I had to ask myself a question one day. He was saying, what makes them think that just because they picked that moment in time to send a signal to a cell phone tower, which beamed another signal to my phone, that I'm immediately supposed to drop everything I'm doing, no matter what I'm in the middle of, and give them my full time and attention, no matter what I have going on? And I'm like,
it's a good question.
And he's also saying, like, in a sense, like, that's one of the most, like, kind of selfish things that someone could think that anyways.
But it's me calling. Like, they should be available. Like
I saying, he's basically saying if someone's going to get so upset that just because they picked that second of life to call or text you and you didn't answer and you were doing some stuff and you couldn't get back to them in the time frame that they wanted to, honestly, that's kind of like a selfish act on their part, expecting that, like, I need you to do exactly what I need you to do in the time frame that I need you to do it in. And I was like, wow,
and I've been guilty of doing that.
That hit.
At times when I want somebody's attention or I want something, I'm definitely guilty of that too. I want it in my time.
Absolutely. We all do.
But when it's on the reverse side of it, it's not near as fun. So what did he advise? Like, what was his? So
that was kind of just like basically the real people that matter are going to understand. And if someone gets that upset over it and they don't talk to you ever again, were they really a true friend? Like, were they really someone that need to be in your life? Like, that was kind of a thought that got brought up. They should know how busy you are if they're really that close of a person in your life. And so I bring that up because I feel like, so if someone takes this to heart, if you're someone that, like, man, I know what you're saying, I'm just letting people have constant access to me all the time and it's causing me turmoil. Like, I'm just throwing out the pre-warning. If you put up this boundary here on your cell phone, people could get mad. And also kind of advise people. Another thing I would say, man, hey, if you really need me, like call me multiple times in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you really need me for something, text me and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can you call me back as soon as possible? Don't just call me, because that gets, one call gets lost in a slew of 20 others if I'm doing something for 3 hours or in a meeting or whatever it is, right? But if I come back and I see the text message, or if I happen to have the phone close to me and I see you call multiple times, then I'll know it's an emergency or something really important, right? But if it's something that could wait, could you just extend me a little bit of grace to get back to you at the proper time frame?
I get that. Absolutely, I do. I mean, I've had to set up boundaries with all of this too, and I'm still working on it, because I don't know when. I'm guilty of it at home too, because I'm answering the phone, you know, all day, and then my kids want to catch up with me after school. I'm cooking dinner. Brian's trying to tell me about his day, and you know, I'm
phone's ringing.
Well, the jail's calling, or this or that, you know, and you know, I'm a fixer by nature and a nurturer, so I want to help these people, but it's like, it's really hard to say no. I need to fill my cup for a minute, you know, like pause on this. I'll come back to it. You know, I guess it's like, is it worth picking up this call? Is it worth my time? You know, and I hate to weigh it out like that, but it gets to that point sometimes. If it's definitely a frustration in my house, the phones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're stressed out constantly, and
well, because I'll yell at somebody for being on their phone, and I'm like, well, where did they learn it from?
Right.
You know, so
monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
For sure.
So,
I think, you know, so something else that you had mentioned, you know, I want other people's time and attention. So sometimes I find myself doing the same thing. And I had to analyze, like, if people are getting mad over that, what's the cause? And I just think that typically we base what someone else should do based on our personal experience and how we operate. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what you don't know. Right. Perfect example is, as I was, you know, in my first couple years of sobriety coming up, you know, the first pastor that, you know, we had connected with, I was, you know, trying to text him. Right. And so he's like, hey, you know, give me a call, or we'll stay in touch or whatever, and I'll try to help you out. This is probably like super early on. So this is actually, you know, a guy, Pastor Steve, he had actually helped, you know, start the High on Jesus officially at his Harvest United Methodist Church. Right. So he was like, hey, you know, keep in contact with me. You know, I'll talk from time to time. I'll help you out. It's a good sized church. Right. And so I would text him, no response. Right. I wouldn't get anything back. And all of a sudden, I remember even telling Bonnie this in the beginning. All of a sudden, it was like 5 days later, he would suddenly text me back like we were just talking the whole entire time. And I'm like, look, he's like texting me back 5 days later. Like we were just like, I mean, he couldn't get back to me in a quicker time frame.
He told me to text him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, then you say, oh man, how dare he? And oh, I'm not important enough. We get all in our feelings. Yeah. So I didn't understand then. Now I totally get it, Pastor Steve. Like 5 days was probably a speedy response. Like,
right. Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, when we're at a level of, you know, just whatever, I don't want to say just starting out. Maybe for someone, you know, watching, it's like they only get 3 phone calls a day and 20 text messages a day. So maybe they just have such a low level and they respond back to all those, so they can have no idea how you wouldn't do the same thing. So if anything, don't usually think it's like, oh, they saw it and they didn't even respond back.
Oh, the red, like what?
The red receipts. I'm so glad you brought that up. People have said, oh, they left me on red. I got a tip for you. I'm not even going to charge you for this. You
keep
ready?
Telling me.
Turn your red receipts off.
You keep telling me to do it and I keep forgetting.
It's an option in the phone. You turn the red receipts off. They never know that you looked at it.
You don't just have to keep pulling down to see.
That's a free tip of the week. And then they're not going to get offended because they don't even know that you looked at it.
See, there you go. But I used to get so mad. I'm like, they read it.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't understand where he was at because I had no clue what a busy lifestyle was. I still didn't have my kids back in my life full time. I was just working and going to a couple meetings and coming home, and I could answer every phone call and text message. So I would have no understanding and grace for someone where they're at. Why? Because I haven't personally experienced it.
Absolutely.
But now that I've experienced where it is nonstop, where you're an entrepreneur, you got 5 million people trying to get a hold of you. We got responsibilities, picking up the kids every day to and from school, you know, all this stuff, being a good spouse, you know, taking care of business, connecting with God. And, you know, I promise you, I'm not sitting on the couch drinking non-alcoholic Mai Tais, looking at my phone like, oh, they called me. Oh, no, bump them. I'm not going to answer. Like, that's
I'm
not
going to buy
what
another
I'm doing.
pair of shoes. They'll call me later. No, it definitely, you know, when the phone rings, I don't know if people realize too, when the phone rings, like they need a placement or they need a suggestion or a resource for whatever it may be in the recovery community or mentoring or whatever, you may not have the answer. So it may take you 3-4 phone calls. So who you need to get the answers from to get back with them, what they really need to hear. You don't want, I mean, I've learned from you too, that quick answer is usually not the best answer. And I used to be, just to put something down there is not good for either side, because you're just going to have to go back and do it again. And then they're going to run with whatever if they're calling you for advice or suggestions, they're going to run with it. So if it's not the best suggestion, they're just going to be back when it doesn't work out.
And
you know?
especially in text messages, because it's so easy to take a text message wrong.
The talk to text.
The tone in it. And then, but they said that to me, and then it sounds coarse and you didn't mean it that way.
That's why I like emojis, because then you can be like, if you're smiling, you know, it's good.
That's true. Right. So I just want to you know, we're putting our barriers up. You know, that's a good thing. But maybe just taking some time just to think like, so it may be hard to put the barrier up when we got no grace for someone that doesn't get back to us. But maybe just, you know, trying to understand, like, let's think of a few options here. Like maybe this isn't a direct attack on you if someone doesn't answer. Right. Maybe they just have a lot of stuff going on in their life and they've chosen to put up some boundaries, and, you know, they're not just singling you out.
Or they're on the other
and
line.
not responding to you.
Yeah. You know?
Right.
Absolutely.
Maybe for them, they decide, when I'm doing something, like, I'm not picking up the phone for anybody else. I had to decide. This was a hard one. It took me years to get, but when it's my wife's time, it's my wife's time. I'm not picking up the phone and doing all this other stuff because she feels like I'm not giving her time and attention when I'm doing that. So I had to put that boundary up to protect that.
And y'all did that together, right? You both put the phones down. Like I'm definitely guilty of that.
But when we get busy and we allow it to creep back in, then we're both picking the phones back up on time during times we should be spending time together. So, but I think that's a big one, is, you know, that boundary of. There was something I read.
There was something I read, and it said, access to me is a privilege, not a right. It says it's earned with trust, time, and consistency.
That's good.
So if you think about it, you know, when you say privilege, it makes you think like pride and ego, but it's really not. Like, if I'm letting you in, that means I'm putting my walls down. I'm taking those boundaries down specifically for this relationship, no matter what it is. So that means I'm trusting you a little more. I'm opening up time, you know, because I mean, I'm busy. You know, if I'm taking time away from my children, my other half, my job, you know, specifically for a certain thing for you, and you don't show up or meet me halfway, I may not be there the next time, you know. I mean, unfortunately, that's what you graduate into, I guess, with more accountability and responsibility as you grow as a woman, as a mom, and, you know, just in life for me. So
I like that line. Access to me isn't a right, it's a privilege.
Yeah. I mean, it can be viewed as, you know, like the wrong person.
Condescending.
It can be cocky or condescending, you know. So when I read it, I was like, dang. But then once I let it soak in, it is. I don't just go around anybody today. I can't.
For sure.
You know, I have to have boundaries in place.
It's okay. I can go on. There's so many men in my life have modeled this one, and anyone that I look up to or is doing, great things in life, none of them respond back instantly. I'm just being real. They get back to me whenever they
he's
can
a good mentor. He doesn't write me right back. Check.
I mean, they get back to me whenever they can get back to me. So that just tells me like I'm doing the right thing by putting a boundary up, because I know these are men I look up to and they got boundaries up too.
Right.
So
I like that.
Don't let it make you feel bad if you're putting some of those boundaries up. I don't know, just real quick, any other thing that comes to mind of places or things that, think they can have complete access to us?
I mean, I guess I would have to talk about the job, I mean, as intake coordinator, hand up to Victory. I know when the jail calls, sometimes they wait in line for hours, and I'll make, because we're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. But when I see it ring on a Saturday, like I have to say on Mother's Day, it did ring 5 times in the jail. I hope that they were just calling to wish me a happy Mother's Day, but I felt bad not answering, because what if somebody got out that day? But in the beginning last year, when I started working for you, I would answer the phone on demand, but we have to put those boundaries in place. Like, if they chose to only call the day before they get out, maybe they were only there a day. I don't know the right answer yet for that. But if I don't put those boundaries, and if we're at Sunday dinner or breakfast after, and I answer that phone to the jail, I'm never going to stop hearing about it from my kids or Brian, because I'm putting that phone above that time with them. So it's a slippery slope sometimes, trying to maneuver in that. Of answering, the phone, but they got to jail, on their own. Like they'll call back, is what we hope and pray that they're safe and they're going to call back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to that, specifically, currently we don't have the funding to have someone on 24/7 call duty. So, I mean, we do have to say it's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 are, the main hours of it, because we just can't staff it 24/7. But I think it's your want to help people because you care. Like, it just shows that you care and, you value your job. I think probably a lot of people struggle with that. My job is important to me. And then they need to make 3 calls to you because someone working the next shift doesn't know something, but they know you do, and they're calling you about it after hours, or, hey, this person called off, we need you to come in. And it's like, you feel like, man, I really just want to be there because, you care, you have a great work ethic. And so I think it's just balance, right? Once again, on subject like that with the jobs, because I've been there. Sometimes you do have to go over and beyond in order to move forward and get promoted, in different things. But at the same time, if it's a constant drain on you, you're getting taken advantage of, and there's no reward for it, there's no promotion or anything on the back end, then at some point you're probably going to have to put up that boundary or find a place that values you for what you have to offer, that's going to respect your boundary, right?
Which I think I have a pretty good job.
I hope so.
But
yep, no, that's good. So what, what's something that I feel like, let's talk about what's some solutions, but what's the one thing that not having the boundary really disrupts? And I truly think that's self-care.
What is that?
Because if we're doing all this stuff and we have all these responsibilities and everyone has access to us constantly, they're always asking us for something. I think the first thing that goes out the window, gets put on the back burner, is the self-care.
Absolutely. I'm definitely guilty of this. Getting ready for Easter, being real, like I had no idea what I was going to wear, or even, Justin and Loma's wedding. Like, I think I got my dress 2 hours before the wedding from Body.
Oh, no.
But I made sure all the other, my daughters had theirs. I made sure Brian's shirt was ironed, like I just put myself off, and care for everyone else. I make sure, that everybody else has what they need. And I think I learned that from my mother and my grandmother. They always did that for their spouse, and their, and me as the daughter and grandchild. But, some days I'm like, I'd like a massage, or and then the phone rings, or a kid forgot their school science project and I'm back off to the races. It just.
Yep. Let me tell you the number of times that my prayer time has gotten interrupted by either the phone or my daughter, or my wife even sometimes. It's like,
do you have like a little sign on your door that says prayer time that you flip back and forth?
I guess I would assume that if I'm in my office early in the morning, it's probably what I'm doing, but maybe it's not.
Mine's the bathroom. Like I shut it.
That's not
I
a
lock
bad idea.
it, and it's Mom. I'm like, I'm literally in here 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, just.
I feel you. Having a conversation through the door. I'm like, just wait. Like I'm going to the bathroom.
You know I'm going to be boiling, right? Like, you know how mad I'm going to be if you continue this conversation. It's not going to go well if you keep talking through this door.
Yeah,
So.
I truly feel like that's the first thing that goes. If we're busy doing all this other stuff, then I'm too busy to pray in a sense. I'm not connecting with God. You know, it may be first, it's easy to sacrifice taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then how easy is it we find ourselves getting more stressed out because we're not taking care of God and the important things, you know, that need our time and attention. My serenity's out the window, and now I just get deeper and deeper, more and more access to
Resentments pile up.
For sure.
Pile up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think self-care is definitely something that we all need to say, hey, I got to block some things off here because I got to take care of me. And that's not a selfish maneuver. But I truly believe taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually is one of the most important things that we could do. We could go on and on. There's a reason that, you know, when they have those, you know, when you fly on the plane and, you know, if you pick up that little pamphlet that's sitting in the seat in front of you and the plane's going down, everyone's got a big smile on their face, right? While the plane's crashing.
Right.
Simple instructions. What's the instructions? Put the oxygen mask on yourself and then you put the oxygen mask on the kids. And years ago, I thought that's dumb. I'm not doing that. I'm going to take care of the kids first. And then, no. Put it on yourself first. Why? Because you got to be okay. If you don't have oxygen going to your brain and you can't think clearly, you're going to be panicking. You're not going to be able to help the people next to you. You're going to be stressed out. And I mean, that just sums it up right there. We have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of other people and not be so stressed out all the time. I
mean, even for instance, when my car, went down last week, the phone was ringing. I know one of my kids called, like, I'm sick, take me out of school. I was like, no, you're not. You'll be fine. And she was fine.
She survived.
Yeah, she lived. Yes, amazing. She's fine. But I was so frustrated about my car. Like if Hand Up to Victory called or, I was like, can you guys call me back in 30 minutes? Even at the jail actually called. And I was like, I know you on a time frame, but I was so frustrated in that moment. But that was a boundary that I had to set up in that moment. So I wasn't condescending to anyone because I could feel my blood boiling and I knew that I needed to be like, hey, are you safe? Are you able to call me back in 30 minutes? Thank you.
Right.
And then we got the intake done right on the hood of my car, it was fine. But to be able to realize that today and not just take my frustration out, it's all a learning process, but I'm getting there. So
it's awesome. And don't feel bad about this because Jesus did the same exact thing. Jesus modeled for us what we should be doing. And if you read in the scriptures constantly, time and time again, he woke up early. He got away from everybody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The disciples, well, where's Jesus at? Oh, he's gone. He's praying. And we're being real. He didn't have to pray. I mean, he could have just made it all happen anyways. No, like his human side allowed, him to be able to model for us how we should be living our life. So, I mean, if Jesus had to shut everything down and put up a boundary and say, sorry, guys, y'all don't have access to me right now. I need to connect with the Father. This is how I'm going to get filled up. This is how I'm going to be okay in order to help all of you guys.
That's right. If Jesus did it, I'm gonna do it too.
We got to do the same exact thing. And I truly believe if we don't take that time to connect with God and we don't get filled up, we're pouring from an empty pitcher constantly.
I know where that took me before, and I'm not going back there.
Everybody always needs something from you, and we allow them to have access. We don't put that boundary up, man. It's not going to be good.
No.
I mean, if anything, if it doesn't take you to a bad place for anyone out there, you're going to be stressed. You're going to be upset. You're going to be hurting other people because you're treating them not the way that they should be treated.
Well, you're not walking in your purpose then either. If you're frustrated and mad and full of resentment, what are you really doing for God? If you're walking in that. So, yeah.
I think you brought up, even we were talking, that rest, silence, and gratitude aren't selfish. They're spiritual.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah. I mean, well, you're talking to somebody who doesn't really rest a lot.
I almost wasn't going to bring it up because I don't think me and you are the best two people to be talking about that one.
Or silence. Come on now. But the problem with that for me too is when I want to be silent or I am silent, people are like, "Are you okay? Like, are you?" Or if I sleep in an extra hour, Mom, are you okay? Well, I was sleeping. Yeah. They want to make sure, because when I was sleeping a lot or if I was quiet, it was not good times, you know? Yeah. So when they hear me and they're cooking or playing music, they don't worry, you know? Yeah, they worry when I'm quiet. Yeah.
I have those rare times when my mom takes Layla, and the first thing when I finally sit in the house, I'm like, "You hear that? Silence."
You sit in your white chair and you're done.
Nothing.
You're done.
I'm just enjoying the silence for a minute. This is grand.
Doesn't last very long.
No.
You just need to record the silence, and then you can just play it over.
But yeah, in closing, like, no is a complete sentence.
Boy, my first sponsor, Candy Buchanan, that was her favorite thing, because I was always coming in, you know, fresh in recovery, your new life. You're like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that." No is a complete sentence. No, I think I wrote it 100 times.
Because we want to help. It's in our nature to say yes to everything that's asked of us, but that's a boundary also. If I say yes to everything, then I'm all over the place. And
well, if you're saying yes to something, that usually means you're saying no to something else. So you have to make sure that the yes is where you need to be.
Self-care.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
First thing to say no to. And just, you know, letting people know that not responding, it's okay. It's okay. Like,
so my mom had to learn this with me, because if I didn't respond before, it usually meant I was not good, or, you know, if I was ignoring it. That's the way she took it. Now that she knows that I'm putting my next right foot forward, I'm doing the right things. If she doesn't hear from me, she'll give me a little bit more time. I better answer my mom though. Yeah, but, for sure. but, you know, but it takes 5 seconds, not even to say in a meeting or doing something, you know. So those certain people in your life, I feel like you need to give them that reassurance sometimes. But is it necessary, you know, in that moment to take away from whatever you're doing? That's what I have to work on right now.
Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool. So next week, be sure to tune in next week, guys. We are going to continue on our boundaries topic here, and we're going to talk about the house.
Yes.
Whether it's people you live with, maybe you're at group housing, spouse, kids, roommate, whatever it is, fill in the blank. We're going to talk about boundaries in the house. Man, if you stuck with us this long, watch the entire episode, thank you so much. We appreciate the love and support, man. Just put some comments down below. What spoke to you? What are some topics you want to hear about in the future? If you haven't yet, please press that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out immensely. Like the videos, absolutely. Comment. We appreciate you guys. We love you. We're signing off.
Austyn with a Y and
Just in Time with Justin Hallis. See you next time.
Like you're content, but you know that there's more.
I promise you, I'm not sitting on the couch drinking non-alcoholic Mai Tais, looking at my phone like,
I want more than what I have, you know, right now.
Then at some point, you're probably going to have to put up that boundary.
God, I feel like, wants us to have all his promises.
I feel like over time, it kind of started to take over. No way.